is group therapy, and so everything said in group therapy is held in confidence with
until
the
it gets
group
to the internet.
Yeah.
and the viewers.
They
They have to
won't
share
have
in that
me out.
confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know who I am. Well, they do, but snitches get stitches.
That's what I was about to say.
Okay.
Listen up, maggots. This is the Grouch coming at you loud and clear with another edition of the Weekend Warriors podcast. This is the place for real, no bullshit talk on the harsh realities and irreverent humor around military life. So sit the fuck down, strap in, and get ready for a raw, no-holds-barred discussion. This is the Weekend Warriors.
Forget how pumped that intro makes me.
Hell yeah.
Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Weekend Warriors podcast. I'm the Grouch, and joining me this evening is Berto.
I see my face is getting torn off. So I'm in a hotel room, and there's just
Your
like a lot of
back room's great.
yeah. There's a lot of sex toys behind me, so I don't want to show it.
Also joining us is Russ
It's going.
and Steven.
What up?
I always love how you guys pause so dramatically after I say your name before you actually give a response.
They pause like they're gonna say something epic. Like, let me drop this on you real quick. Like, I don't know, fucking something creative and cool, and they just say, "Sup, hey."
I know it doesn't count for Robert or Russ. This is like what, 9 or 10 for me and you, Paul?
Actually,
Or maybe
this would be 11.
11. So I do my deuces, and then I sit here and I think about it, and I'm like, fuck. I've got to do it for the podcast people, so I have to say something. That's my pause. Now, y'all two, I don't know what the fuck your problem is. You're just losers that show up whenever you want.
Yeah, those podcast people, they're on the edge of their seat. They're just like, man, I wonder what Steven's doing in that awkward.
They might.
Yeah, it was one of the reviews, one of the user reviews. They're like,
I thought it was
can't wait.
W2s don't get shit and shouldn't be on here.
Huh?
Bad when it went over his head, but not yours, Russ.
Well, I guess at least one of the warrants got it, so.
I don't say I didn't get it. It just wasn't good.
He's drinking piss.
Yeah, you don't. It's called recycling, you fucking loser.
Steven, how's your week been?
The Jeep broke again.
Surprise.
It's
I know.
been a good week for breaking shit then.
Yeah, it has. You broke your computer. I blew a radiator hose in the Jeep. Other than that, it's been pretty good. I actually got a couple of things done, and
Did you go to your 6 meter net, your 6 meter lunch?
that's tomorrow. And I will be missing it because lack of transportation.
You know, you don't have to drive. That's not how radios work.
It's an in-person lunch, you fuck.
You call it a 6 meter lunch? Do you get just like fucking bunch of Subway?
We eat 6 meter sandwiches.
Yeah. You guys' tradition where you meet up at Subway. That's a fucking ham radio meetup if I've ever seen one. You guys are meeting at the club tonight. A 6 meter roundup.
Yeah, it's like a 25 uniforms worship Jared or something.
Is there a 6 meter antenna on the roof?
There is on the Jeep, and most of the other cars in the parking lot have a 6 meter antenna. So
There you go. Well, other than the Jeep break-in and missing the 6 meter lunch,
Let's see. I finally finished out the 400 in a ammo can build. Got it up and running, and a battery in it, and a charger for the battery, because I realized when I put the antenna in there, I put it on the switch, and it stayed on for like a week and killed the battery.
Oops.
I've rearranged things, so it's better now. But yeah, other than that.
All right.
Well, then there was yesterday, but we'll get to that.
Russ, how's your week been?
It's been good. I had to shave off my mustache this morning. Supposedly had an interview, a job interview, and thought to myself, I'm gonna show up clean shaven, shave it, mustache too. It was a work of art. It was a work of art, guys. Look at that. It had a curl up. It was straight out of a cartoon. I had to shave it off, and then still upset about it. I probably didn't get the job because they didn't even ask me to turn on the camera during the interview. I'm like, oh fuck, they just probably going through the
That's a more respectable mustache than Jake.
Yes.
that guy shouldn't be allowed around schools with that mustache. But yeah, man, I probably didn't get the job, but there's always another day to apply and get the job, or I'll just end up like Robert going active duty. Ew.
Yeah. Your last option is to come here and be a real man.
Robert, what about you? How's your week been?
Good. I'm actually in some stupid fucking Army course right now, and daily have disagreements with a lieutenant colonel. I think it's starting to piss him off. I don't know. You know when people want to like theoretically deep dive in all this doctrine and blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, I'm here so you can teach me like how to clean a toilet. I don't need to know like where the toilet was crafted and the logistical backbone of how to buy a toilet. Just tell me how to clean it, man. Like, that's it. So that's been a headache. That's why I'm finishing up homework right now, because we have homework every night for this.
As all good schools would.
Yeah, because I'm learning. I guess I'm just learning to bullshit more through the homework. He gave me a really sassy feedback on the last night one though, which I just read. I texted, there's another warrant in my class, and I was like, dude, he's a little pissed off. He sent me the sassy comment. But just like with all Army courses, you just have to pass. It's really not hard. I don't need to have a brain. I just have to do what's required and call it a day. So yeah, I've been here for 2 weeks. Still have another week next one. Hopefully this doesn't get around and like they find out like what course I'm in. Like, oh, it's a fucking joke, huh? But then I'll probably say yeah, and then get a stern talking to from someone.
Well, so instead of releasing this, 2 weeks from Sunday when it's scheduled, I'll just release it this week.
Right after this.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll just tag Army Command.
First Infantry Division's Command Sergeant Major. Come take a look at this.
I tell them all. I fucking tell them straight to their face, man. This is dumb. Why am I doing? Well, no. And you know what? You know what's even worse is that I signed up for this willingly because I thought it was good. I thought it was something different. And
this is group therapy, and so everything said in group therapy is held in confidence with
until it gets to the internet.
Yeah.
And the viewers, they have
they
to share that confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know who I am. Well, they do, but snitches get stitches.
That's what I was about to say.
Okay, I'll come for you. No, so I've been battling that. I'm in the last course of my master's program, so I'm also doing that at the same time. Trying to finish up my capstone this weekend. So kiss Veterans Day goodbye, because I'll be chugging away on a computer. And then stayed up last night drinking with you guys until I got too sleepy because I had to go to class. And I'm sure we'll get into that, but it's very interesting. Anyway, Paul, how was
your week?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was gonna turn around and ask Paul.
Well, thanks for asking. So
before you go on, we genuinely don't care.
Oh, okay.
It's not true.
I care.
So I've been battling computer problems for the last week. The mini PC, it finally quit tonight. It died. So
told you to stay off of that Russian porn site.
I know it. We're running the new computer. It's not fully finished, so I'm only able to use one monitor. But it is what it is. There's no OBS. There's no fancy sound effects or any of the good stuff. It's just that's just me.
So,
that's what you get.
So what happened? The mini computer just shit out? Was it the hard drive? What was it?
So it started last week where like I installed updates and I restarted. And
that's your problem. You installed updates.
It said but it said there was no more boot. It said please insert a boot. And so I was like, all right, well, I had an installation thumb drive, so I did all the diagnostics from that, and I finally got it to boot into recovery. And so like I made a backup of the hard drive, and I copied the hard drive, and I copied it to a bigger hard drive, so it went from 230 some gig to a full terabyte, which was great, and it worked fantastic for like 4 days. And then it gave me the same like, no, sorry, there's no boot. And so I went through that whole process again. I got back into it, got it up and running. I installed all the updates and tried to fix everything. And today, last night. So last night, as I was trying to get on for, hanging out with you guys in the Discord, I lost the Ethernet port. And so I was stuck on Wi-Fi. And then today it said that the internal fan was no longer recognized. It was not there. And so I'm like, well, it's just dropping fucking bits. Like it's just done. It wouldn't let me into BIOS anymore. It wouldn't do anything. So it's dead. But I was smart. I backed up all my video files. I backed up most of all of like my app data for all the software and everything. And I did go jump skydiving. That did happen, right? So that video is out. And then I finally got through my Mount Tecumseh, my first soda, and so I put that video out. But now I got to get this up and running fully so that I can edit a few more, because we got a Weekend Warriors that's due out on Sunday.
Sounds busy.
I'll get it though. The GPU and the CPU cooler should be here by the weekend, and so I got a few days to sort out my drive problems, and then we'll just be on this computer permanently.
Jeez.
I was hoping to keep the Mini as like just a radio computer, and then I just remote into it whenever I wanted to play with the radio. But
so I mean, it still might be salvageable. Don't completely call it dead. Sometimes I had this issue before too, where like if you just have like a wrong driver or something silly, like specifically since you said you did updates, like that thing right there could have just destroyed it. So like you could install a whatever version of what you're running and it can work perfectly fine again. Updates, man. Gotta fucking love them.
Well, I mean, I won't chuck it in the trash bin just yet. You know,
You can always send it to me.
I'll get a new drive for it and see.
And what Windows version were you running when it got your update?
Well, so I'm in the Windows Insider program, so I'm always running the latest beta.
Interesting.
Whoa.
So even though like none of my computers can run Windows 11, supposedly, they are all running Windows 11.
I would put it back together and try Linux on it.
Ooh,
or 10.
All. I get 10 on the tough book.
Yeah, Windows 10. It's a solid one. It's a staple.
I still have Windows 10, man. I'm not going to 11.
Yeah, I do.
Fuck the change.
I do 10 on all my stuff.
I'll tell you, I really enjoy the Go Spectre versions. I just wish it was easier to find the freaking file that you're looking for.
Well,
like,
that's like the golden part of it, though. It makes it hard.
Oh, forgot to mention. Look what came in this morning. My new DMR.
oh, look at you! Welcome to DMR.
Yeah, so now I just have to learn it. But before, I was excited this morning. I was excited I got it.
That is going to be the most frustrating radio you have ever fucking programmed.
But that's only if I can program it, because the power cable they gave me is from Mother Russia. Yeah, and
I guess you're gonna have to get an adapter.
Yeah, already. It has the same port as my old Baofeng. I just have to find my old Baofengs, the charging port, and then swap the cables.
The Quashang K5s that I got came with that exact same charging cradle and
European plug.
Uh-huh.
And it's dead because I haven't bothered to look for a fucking adapter yet.
Well, shit, man. They should put that shit in the description. Because funny thing, I was looking at there was two options to buy it. One didn't ship it to the U.S., but they had an option of U.S. adapter, and the other one shipped to the U.S., but they didn't have an option with a U.S. adapter. And I'm like, what sense does that make?
But now I wonder, is that a European radio, and so it won't even transmit on the U.S. frequencies?
Oh no, it's a Chinese radio. It's the TYT.
Yeah, but is it band locked to Europe?
Okay, that's a good question. How do I check that?
What does it say on the back of it, underneath the battery? Does it say anything?
Let me open it first.
So while we're waiting on Russ, let's open up the comment section below for people to guess as to what this is. And if you can get this correct without Googling this shit, then you can get with Paul and he'll send you a sticker or something. But it's not what the fuck Paul said, wherever Paul is. And it's definitely not what these two fucking losers said.
Hey, you know what? I'll double down on that. And if anyone comments and has the best insult for Steven, I'll send you some flag and torch stickers, like hands down.
Well, commercial.
That's a challenge. In fact, anyone who sees this in the world, if you just send insults to one of the Flag and Torch Society emails, I will
Any
make
of them.
sure. Yeah,
Any
like,
of them.
yeah, they gotta be good quality ones for Steven.
They got to be ones that are going to make us laugh and be
And you know
like,
what? If I get some, I'm just gonna read them off every weekend warrior. So go to flagandtorchsociety.com. Find out, where all the club officers. Shoot me an email and say this is my best insult for Steven, and I will read it every single Weekend Warriors podcast.
that he shows up for. Isn't that many?
God, yes, Steven, what was your schedule like today? Like,
Well,
fucking woke up.
I had a busy day. I woke up. I went to bed at 4 a.m. after watching all the election stuff, and then I woke up about 10:30, 10:45. Read a text message, and then laid in bed until about 11, and then I got up and let the dogs out and mowed the yard.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I hate that you're envious that some of us are already retired, drawing a check, and get to sit at home.
Yeah, that's crazy. How old are you too? Like twice my age?
Yeah. But hey,
I'll sit at home too. I don't give a shit.
Well, had the election gone the other way, we all might be sitting at home.
no, Robert and Russ would be over in some desert country starting a new skirmish.
I think it would be the other way around. It would be the citizens of the United States arming up against the tyranny. That's what it would have been.
I don't know that America is to that point yet. I know a lot of people talk about it, but I don't know that they're too. They made a big statement last night by everybody coming out, and I mean, they flipped some seats and they let everybody know. I mean, I watched CNN most of the day today, and they were in honest shock of the message that was sent.
Well, so in 2020, I think people were complacent and they didn't go vote. And so you had the left side that all went and vote. And so that's what we got stuck with. This time around, everybody said, enough of the bullshit. We're going to go vote. And
Even California.
It's good to see common sense is actually freaking prevailing.
I did see someone crunching the numbers between this election and the last election of total votes for candidates. I gotta find it again, but it showed like a just massive shift of like 15 million people different or something like that from last election to this election.
Well, hell, even the Amish came out to vote this time around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
No. Sorry. Saying that like last election had like 15 million more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all Democratic.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Dead people were
Mickey
voting,
Mouse,
not the
Donald
chicken
Duck.
sandwich wars.
Yeah, I'll have to look.
I get so amazed sometimes at the fact that like people just don't give enough to look into things. They take everything at face value that they see on TV. And if they're watching, MSNBC or ABC, CBS, CNN, any of those, Fox even, like, it's you're not always getting the full picture. COVID was the greatest thing in the world for that, because it showed most people that have a little bit of common sense that you got to seek the truth elsewhere and get it from independent sources who are out there just reporting like regular old journalists, just regular people. Because the media is not going to give it to you the right way anymore. Everything is propaganda and shrouded truths. Like the whole find people thing has been debunked a bazillion times, and they're still throwing it out there. They're like, oh, we want women's rights. Everybody should have an abortion whenever the fuck they want. Women's rights. Is it really women's rights when you're letting men pretend to be women and you're saying that they can go into locker rooms with biological women and they can go and they can kick the shit out of biological women in whatever sport they choose and be like, oh no, I'm a woman. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that's not protecting women's rights.
Nope.
Well,
degenerates.
It's interesting because we have this foundational understanding that segregation is acceptable between the sexes. Like, it's an acceptable norm that everyone agrees on in certain
for
aspects.
The safety of women.
So, like, when it comes to sports, when it comes to where there is some outmatch that is just biological or something, like, we agree on those terms. I don't know who advocates for transgender women to participate in female sports. I don't know if it's men, women, people who don't really care. I don't know. Like, because it's not the women that are competing.
No, the women that are competing don't want to compete against men.
Yeah. So who is this entity advocating?
It's left-wing propaganda. I don't understand the ideology.
Like, listen, man, we have the Special Olympics, and not anyone can just join that. Okay.
Hey, dude, Robert's not wrong. He's calling out certain people right now.
The big thing is when you actually talk to people and you ask them, well, is it okay for the mother to do hardcore drugs, LSD, cocaine, meth, while she's pregnant? Well, most of them will say, no, that's going to harm the baby.
On the baby.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
You can't say two things.
But
you're either a cold-blooded murderer or you're not.
Yeah, exactly. Abortion in the third trimester is A-okay with them. Like, it makes no sense. Where is the logic in that?
I mean, I do agree that, the staunch libertarian that I am, there are times where health may play a role, where rape may play a role. There's also other avenues that can be looked at or should be looked at. But, oh my God, it's ultimately not my choice. It is the woman's choice. And that's a big thing that we in the military fought for, was our freedom to have a choice. Now, some of our choices have consequences. I can walk up and punch Robert in the nose.
You could try, little bitch.
Whatever.
Not in those fucking Christmas panties you were wearing last night.
He didn't like my Christmas boxers.
fucking boxers, bro. Those are skin tight. What are they boxers for? A fucking 12-year-old boy?
They are Duluth Trading buck naked underwear.
Oh my god.
And if you haven't worn buck naked underwear,
if your underwear feels like this, get buck naked. The most comfortable underwear there is. Only at Duluth Trading.
you don't know what you're missing.
He buys fucking $50 underwear that he can just shit in. Put your diapers back on, old man.
I'm not into pins yet there, kiddo.
Yeah, he says yeah.
So, along what you're saying, though, Stephen, right, is I don't think that any part of the government should have any say in any part of abortion whatsoever. Like, that's between the fucking doctor, right? If the doctor morally feels okay with killing a baby, well, then that's on the doctor.
Sometimes you need that fear of like, yo, if you do this, you will get in trouble, or you cannot do this. It's like, it's the like, how do I say this?
Well, hold on. I want to delve down Paul's road a little bit, because I sort of like where he's going with that, but we need to expand it.
That is correct.
What's that?
I mean, if we're going to say that it's a choice between you and your doctor and murder is okay, then I think I ought to be able to talk to my psychiatrist and kill every pedophile that I see and find. I mean, it works both ways.
That's true. But there's a law that prevents us from killing pedophiles. I think there should be a law.
Should there be?
There shouldn't be, right? There shouldn't be a law that protects, because pedophiles are fucking, they're sick in the head. They're mentally ill patient. They should be put down at their misery. That's what I think.
No, the solution for pedophiles is castration.
Nah.
But hear me out on the doctor.
It's got to be more painful.
All right. Now, I think that assisted suicides, and under the right circumstances, that should be fine. There should be no law against that, because that is a person's choice who should be terminal. But that's between them and their doctor. And if their doctor is morally okay with ending that person's life medically, so be it.
Have you looked at Canada on that?
No, I fucking hate all of Canada at this point.
I do too, but Canada recently passed legislation that assisted suicide is okay. And I'll have to find the report. We may talk about it on another future episode, but they call it something, and the stats are through the fucking roof. They're just killing people left and right in some of these institutions, apparently.
It's like, schizophrenic, we'll kill him.
Apparently there's a investigation going on, because they're getting a little bit, well, I agree, Bobby needed to die, and so he wanted to, so we helped him. Bobby's not here anymore to say otherwise. Fuck.
Clearly some flaws in the system.
Yeah. The only problem that I see, it takes two people to get pregnant, but it only takes one to have an abortion. I think we need to look at maybe two-party consent, and what the system is flawed as it is. I mean,
but if you say two-party consent, that takes away your whole argument of it being murder, because then it's just, if everyone agrees to murder, then
conspiracy.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of flaws in it that should be worked on.
Like, how is the death penalty a thing? Where everyone just mutually decides, yeah, this person should die.
12 people decided.
We're like, that's okay. because the law said it's okay, right? So if we look at the law is just fucking shit made up by man that they're like, well, that could be overridden at any moment. For years, fucking alcohol was banned, and then they're like, okay, wait, no, let's not do that anymore, right? That was an amendment, right?
Yep.
So, so laws are just fucking crazy made up things that we use to govern our society. But it's when you think about what you think is right and what you think is wrong, if it's a matter of opinion, it shouldn't be in law.
Well, but so that's where morality comes into question, right? And like this country was founded by people who were fleeing religious persecution, and so they all had a very, very good sense of religious morality. And we've kind of lost that along the way. And so now it truly is a very diverse spectrum of opinion because you don't have as many people governed by that same sense of morality.
And that is the key, that we are another country ruled by religion. We're just like everyone else.
But it's religious freedom, and if you look at every religion that there is, they all have the same tenets of morality. Now, I will say there are extremists, obviously, in every aspect of everything. What the Roman Catholics did in the days of the Crusades was just god awful. What's going on in the Middle East with the Sharia law and all of that, like, it's reprehensible for most people. But that's how they live in whatever time they're living, right? But so who are we to say that that's wrong? Like, it's wrong if you come here and do it, because we control what is right here. But I don't know. I think.
But the
we've
thing
been playing Big Brother to the world for too long.
But what you just said is important. We control what is right
here.
Yeah, we control, like.
Yeah.
It's not.
We have to have standards.
It's not. It is finite, right or wrong. We control the narrative.
Yeah.
But do we?
It's
the liberals control the narrative.
I mean,
there should be a mutually accepted societal standard of right and wrong, of good and evil.
But transgender, are they right or wrong? Like,
they can be whatever the fuck they want to be as long as they don't tell me what I need to be.
So another person's freedom ends when yours begin.
No, they can pretend to be whatever they want. I just don't have to play their game.
Exactly.
It's almost in the same sense, like, you can believe whatever you want about abortion, but don't tell me what to do about it.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, your freedoms, so my freedoms end when yours begin. It's like, if you want to believe in your shit, you believe in your shit.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
But you're right on the money there, Berto, right? Because I'm thinking the same exact track when it comes to abortion. Like, it's a question of morality that shouldn't be legislated. It should be between the person and the doctor, and whatever that circumstance is, they figure it out. And whether that's the beginning of life or the end of life, I don't think there should be any legislation on it.
Specifically federal legislation.
No, not federal legislation at all.
No, the federal government is
way too big,
involved in everything.
They do nothing but sit up there. The majority of them sit up there in DC and get richer off of us.
Well, and you look at government contracts and what people charge for things, it's absurd. I mean, the average person could go to freaking Home Depot and buy the same materials for an eighth of the cost. But it's okay because we're charging the government. No. government should say no. Like, we want the most realistic bid there is.
But then you have to get rid of all of those thousands of people that have government jobs in those offices up in DC that process that paperwork, which makes
Fuck
it
'em.
so
Find a new
expensive.
job.
Yeah.
Find a new job.
What about this one? Should the government be able to set price limits on medication?
No, I think it's part of a free economy is, but there also needs to be the clause in there of not squishing out the little person, because you got the little person that's coming in that can make it for $2, and I mean,
Why does it have to be a clause? I guess.
Well, no, because that's the old school monopoly law.
yeah.
Why is that? Why is that one?
Well, so
Why can't they prosper and live the American dream and sell shit for whatever they want?
you have to
Because-
understand there's a difference between selling shit for whatever you want and having a monopoly on a specific commodity.
So when we talk about morality, isn't that almost immoral to impose that because someone can dominate a field? Or even if someone else did do it, right? What if you both decided to jack the prices up? What if you and your boy were like, yeah, we both make this fucking medication?
I don't know.
Just interesting questions.
It's why we have laws.
But I think laws are more impactful at the local level.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be a lot less federal legislation and a lot more control to the states.
I mean, like, I'll give you an example. In 2014, California voted that making a theft under $950 is no longer a crime. It made it a petty theft, made it a misdemeanor. So I can walk. Last year, I could have walked into the grocery store, stole a whole bunch of shit. They can't stop me because I'm not committing a crime. It's a misdemeanor. I can go and they won't prosecute me the same way they would go and look out for a criminal. That's California's legislature. California's, and you know how Californians are. Fast forward 10 years later, 2024 election, they just repelled it because look what's been happening to California in the past few years. People just walk into the stores, grab what the fuck they need, and walk the fuck out. Do you think that was the wise choice? Should you allow more retarded people make decisions? That's what it boils down to.
You always have the pendulum swinging, and it's going to get to one side and it's going to swing back, and that's what's happening.
But you know what? You can have different variables in that too. Take fucking Texas, for example. Do they have a law like that? I don't know. Does Tennessee have a law like that? No, because they're all because they all have guns.
Yep.
If you walk into a store and you're gonna steal shit, the dude has every right to put you down, right?
Not in Tennessee. I wish.
Well, maybe. I mean, in other states.
Steven, how many children you got?
2.
2 children. Do you think one child is more mature than the other?
Yeah.
Yeah, the older one.
The older one.
No, the younger one.
One's like 30, the other one's 12. No, I'm kidding.
But anyway, so let's say you have
20,
you would probably
27,
allow mature one to have more responsibilities, more autonomy, and then your less mature one, you're probably gonna keep a close eye on him. I think that's why we're United States. You have some states with absolute fucking retards running it, and some states that still have some common sense, just let the states that have common sense, like, give them more autonomy. Do whatever the fuck you want. But states like California, because California still has a lot of people living in it, a lot of people that disagree with the policies, but we can't fucking outvote it. So, and we can't really leave because we have our fucking whole lives around here, and then
you just stated a personal choice right there.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I mean, like,
you can fucking leave whenever you want.
That's true, right? But then most of the Californians, they got families here. They very close.
Start somewhere else.
But anyway,
you want to live.
That's not the point, though.
Pathetic life in a place that you hate. That is a decision. That is a deliberate decision.
But the point is, though, I think in this situation, federal government has to basically tell California put more of hey, dude, California government, you guys are too retarded. Don't do this.
No, I think that's California doing that. I don't think that's the federal government at all. I think that's California doing California.
Federal government should come in and help out California to be less.
Why?
Nope.
That's a California problem. That's not a federal problem. Name one federal problem in that.
I don't know, man.
They elect their politicians, and you got to live with it. If you don't like it, elect somebody else or move the fuck out.
That's true. He is not wrong. He's not wrong.
Hey, so Nancy Pelosi.
Love her.
You know what? I'll say this before you go on. You know who did just that thing? Literally every single family that is in America. They didn't like where they were at, so they went somewhere else. They uprooted their entire life, their entire culture, because they didn't like where they were.
California ran out of U-Hauls.
Right? So
they ran out of U-Hauls. There were so many fucking people leaving. That's
right.
Great
changed my opinion there. Not gonna lie, that's actually a good point right there.
The country is so diverse, and every state is so different. Just figure out what state has the laws that you like that align with you, and hopefully they have the same kind of people that you like. Trust me, I lived in Central and Southern Oregon, right, for 3 years. Fucking hated it. It's fucking liberal central over there. Now you go to Eastern Oregon, it's fantastic. You go to Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, it's fantastic. A lot of great laws. Some of those states have some high taxes, but Massachusetts, I will never fucking live there again.
Yep.
Never again.
Massachusetts.
I thought there was a better place to live than New Hampshire, and I tried it, and I came home because it's fucking great here.
But didn't you guys vote Democrat?
This is such a purple state. We got a Republican governor. We've got Democrat Congress people.
But New Hampshire was harmoniously.
Yeah. I mean, except for Keene. Fuck Keene.
Yeah. Listen, man, I'm from New Jersey, and I'm probably never going back there again.
Good for you.
What's wrong with Jersey?
A lot of things.
Oh, you guys do have a fucking Republican governor. I'm looking at it right now.
I mean, New Jersey's great. It has a lot of great things. But my views and New Jersey's views are just different.
So you find a state that more aligns with your views.
That's it.
It's true.
Right? Like I'm probably moving back to New York, but New York's laws don't really align with what we want. Right? But that's just where we got to be for the next couple of years. After that, I don't know.
Oh, then you just slide a little further east.
You want me to come be your neighbor?
won't you be my neighbor?
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
No, I mean even upstate New York is fine. You don't really feel the effects of New York being New York way up where I'm at. It's usually in the city. That's what ruins it. But I mean, Pennsylvania is kind of where, like, the area that I grew up, and that's where my brother lives. And he was actually in one of the counties that was like one of the deciding counties for Pennsylvania. But it's so mixed, man.
Somewhere you vote, your vote really matters there. That's what I feel. Another thing that, like,
Yeah.
in a states like that, you actually feel like you're fucking contributing. Like,
I think we were watching it last night, and Monroe County in Pennsylvania came down to a difference of like 399 votes.
Damn.
Which is crazy.
Right now.
My wife was adamant that she was not going to vote. And I said, well, if you don't vote, you can't bitch. And I said, if you don't vote and they have to do a recount, like, well, your vote's not there. You know, it's even if nobody ever counts the fucking votes, right? I want to know that my vote was cast. So
You guys elected Kamala in New Hampshire. Nice.
yeah, Kamala won the state. I don't know how, but I don't know.
Damn. Hey, like I said, man, in California we had 40% voted for Trump this time around. 40%. I don't think I've ever seen it that high before for a Republican candidate.
Hey, so if you're on that 270 to win website, you can actually look at historical documents of every election, which is pretty cool. I went through every election today and kind of looked at, like, the different states and the ways that they went. And I don't think it was until Bush Sr. that states really, like, started digging in and being like, these are consistent states.
After Reagan.
Yeah, it was like really just like back and forth. And I think with Trump being elected, I think it's a lot of it stopped being about party and was more about what that person will achieve, right? Because it doesn't fucking matter. Like, you can bring abortion to the table, but, like, if Kamala didn't fix it in the past 4 years and Roe v. Wade got overturned, like, what ground does she have to stand on?
Well,
you know, like,
she was saying that she was going to enact new legislation to make Roe v. Wade law.
Yeah, so it's just, and it's wild. It's wild that I don't know. It's now at a state level, which you should just be fighting at a state level for.
And that's what it should be. It should be at the state level.
And I don't think as many people are abortion one side or the other anymore. It's really not that big of a thing anymore. I think a lot of the exit polls show that, like, people just care that, like,
it is a big thing because, well, I mean, Florida had it on the referendum. There were 6 or 7 states that had it on the referendum, and it passed in all of them except for, I think, 2.
So I don't want to say it's not a big thing, but I will say what's a bigger thing is, like, people are fucking broke. People can't afford groceries.
Inflation is fucking still high.
Everything's like, at the end of the day, like, people care about this topic, right? And it's an important topic to discuss when the state of the nation is okay. But, like, I think more people care about, like, being able to feed their families at the end of the day, and, like, getting the thousands of troops from overseas back home. And like there's just like bigger problems in the world right now. Not like knocking down abortion or like personal views on things, but I think a lot of people came out to vote because they saw Kamala in power, they saw Trump in power, and they're like, well, Trump's actually going to do something. Whatever it is, it might be fucking crazy, but he's going to fucking do something.
And it'll be good for the country.
And that's the thing. And that's a hard thing to accept. It's very hard because, granted, he has some pretty like radical, illegal immigration ideas and
how is that radical though?
I'm just saying it's extreme.
Deport illegal.
Okay. Who can name the person who said this? A nation without borders is not a nation at all.
Bill Clinton said it, and Barack Obama said it.
No,
it's Napoleon. No, not Napoleon. Alexander the Great.
No, you're going too far back. It was Reagan.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Washington. Probably Washington. Let me look it up.
Okay,
it was Reagan. But a nation without borders is not a nation.
Well, one of the reasons that you had
I'll say it's more of his personality behind it and approach, right? Not saying it's bad, but it's not because he hates illegal immigrants. It's because he's doing it for the American people. And I think that's a very hard pill to swallow because you have to affect someone else's life for the quality of your life. And I think that's just the huge divide that people are having a hard time dealing with. Like, in order for my life to be better, in order for our gas prices to be lower, for our taxes to be lower, for our government to thrive, we have to get rid of 5 million people and say,
but
sorry.
5 million illegal people that shouldn't be here to begin with.
Agreed.
Steven, we'll just stick with 5, just as an amenable number.
We
all know it's higher.
10 to 15, more likely.
Yeah, we all know it's higher.
We have to displace 10 to 15 million people.
One of the reasons that he doesn't like it is one of the exact same reasons that me and a bunch of others don't like it. My wife is a German citizen, and I've talked about that, I think, on one of the first couple episodes.
Yep.
But it cost a lot of money to do things the right way and wait in line to get her into here. Yeah. As for us, Russ will chime in on this part too. To do it right, there is a lottery system. Each country throughout the world gets so many in that lottery. And we let in, 400,000 a year or something like that?
Each country has an allocated amount.
And each country, depending on their circumstances that the State Department sets, gets 10, 20, 100, 200, whatever. But yet, what we've done with illegal immigration is told all of those people, fuck you, you're not important because you want to follow the rules. You can come in this way, and not only will we let you come in for free without waiting in line, we'll fly you in on a fucking airplane that these schmucks are paying for, and then we're going to give you some of their money that they're giving us.
I get it. No, I get it. So what if you said, hey, like, you have to send these people to their deaths?
I'm sorry, you should have drove with your seatbelt on. You shouldn't have been speeding in that accident. It was your choice to do something. You chose to come here knowing the consequences, and now we want to say, oh, well, it's okay.
So I'm going to tie this back. You're okay with sending someone to their death back in Mexico, but not okay with abortion.
American people versus non-American people. Us versus them. That's pecking order. Us, them. Us, them.
So
again,
I totally appreciate the devil's advocate. All right.
But what you're missing something there, Robert. It's my choice and my view. I believe as a libertarian that I do not have the right to force my opinion and my view on you. But by turnabout, you sure the fuck don't have the right to force yours upon me.
But it's more than that, okay? So
it's simplistically that.
No. Listen, when it comes down to it, if you are not thinking America first and putting American citizens as a priority, then you are doing a disadvantage for every legal American citizen. And if people who are American citizens feel sad for people who live in third world countries, because it is sad, they can go there and they can do humanitarian aid and they can help out in that country. They don't live there and make it better. Need to bring all of those people here and make our country shitty for the sake of getting them out of their shitty country. Go there and do humanitarian aid. See what it's like in a third world shit country. And then you will have a greater appreciation for why America needs to be America first.
Does everyone deserve health care?
Does everyone deserve it?
Define deserves. I mean, we've had health care as long as I can remember. I started working back in 84. We've had health care ever since then. You had to pay for it. It's called capitalism.
So do people?
Should I have to pay for your health care because you're less out of shape and don't take care of yourself?
Okay, less out of shape. Come on, Steven.
But that's what universal health care is. It's communism, because it is taking some of what you have, and then giving it to somebody else. They have the same ability and the same right to go get a job and pay for their own insurance. Do I like doing it? Fuck no. It's expensive. It's out fucking outrageous. But that is the part that I chose to be in normal society that I would do.
Right. So all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, there are some people comfortable with letting people die for the foundation of the country. They put country over people. No, that's like, and I'm not opposed to it either. I do believe in a lot of things.
But see,
and then you're gonna hear the sob stories, right? You're gonna hear the things that, like, even you can end up where someday fucking healthcare doesn't cover shit. You got to spend all your money, and then you're fucking broke, and then you're robbing a grocery store to feed your family.
But Robert,
but those are my choices.
I think we drifted away from the original point of this.
You think? That's what this is about.
No. We drifted from the point of a.
Did you not look at the map for tonight, Russ?
No. Wait. Before I lose my thought. I want to address what Robert said. Me and you, Robert, we are in a different society. We are in a military society where essentially it is a socialism. It is, we all get free health care, right? But guess what? In order for us to get all of this, the benefits of socialism and communism, we had to sign a fucking contract saying we will fucking get shot at and we will die if we have to. At the end of the day, a lot of legal immigrants who are coming into this country, they're applying to these lotteries. Guess what? That lottery costs money. That's like $500 per ticket. It's not a free lottery. And
no,
it's a lottery because a bunch of people apply for it. It feeds our economy tremendously. Whereas people, not tremendously. It's more of it feeds our economy. It doesn't just, we don't just consume it. Whereas
you think you guys think that I don't know this? And then
I don't know. You're talking like
you're talking like a dumb schmuck So we just assumed.
He's playing devil's advocate.
All I'm saying is the country as a whole has to decide and be comfortable with the repercussions that happen to millions of people. But that's an extremely
jaded and leftist point of view, because you can't say that 100% of them are going to die. Well, that's true. You're going to die. I'm going to die. We're all going to die. Did we speed it up because they went back and they didn't vote in their country and they didn't have fair elections to where they could elect people that saw their views? So they have criminals that are killing them for it because they're allowing the gang members to take over and kill people? Yeah. They should have changed things in their country rather than coming here and not changing, or what's the word? Assimilate into normal society.
Because
they're bringing their cultures and having their communities and their cultures, where we are the United States and are a multiculture.
And all of those criminals that are coming in, like the ones that are not doing it the right way, they are fucking animals, dude. The reason why we give them all of this welfare,
I think
they're going to kill us. Because dude, if we don't give them shit, they're gonna start stealing. We already seen those apartment complexes.
I think we also have to recognize that there are a lot of illegals that work for a living and are regular citizens, more than criminals. A lot of criminals are U.S. born.
True.
Well, listen, you don't have to worry about Aurora, Colorado. It was only a handful of apartment complexes. It was no big deal.
I'm going to stop you. The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
I would question this. I would question the statistic of how many U.S. citizens are pulling welfare versus the amount of illegal immigrants pulling benefits.
I mean, are we?
No, whoa. I'm not talking about pulling benefits. That takes a little bit longer. What I'm talking about are the recent policies of immediate handouts. You get a hotel key and a debit card with, I forget what the stupid amount is, and then next month.
So if they didn't get that, if they what was the old the Cuba thing? Wet feet, dry feet.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
If they made it here and they survived on their own, then they're good to stay.
But there's a difference.
So we're not against illegals, we're against handouts.
Yes.
But they are essentially tied together because
they come for a handout. That's the reason they come to the United States, for those handouts, bro. They treat those handouts as an income.
So do you think if there weren't handouts, they would stop coming here?
Oh yeah.
A lot of them, yes.
100%.
We would go back down to the 80s and the 90s illegal immigration, where we have laws that say it is illegal to do this, and we will immediately turn you back.
Yeah. But
now, the Cuba wet feet, dry feet was a little bit, it was a separate policy about just Cuban refugees, because we were trying to overthrow the communist regime down there, and it backfired and failed. But anyway, hey, then we sent Elion back. I mean, hey, but there's a difference in that and just the normal immigration of, if you stop giving them handouts at the door, if you tell everybody, hey, the door's locked and there is no more Halloween candy, sooner or later the trick-or-treaters are going to stop coming, and you're just going to have one or two every now and then. But when you open up the door and you say, hey, you get all the free candy you can carry, which is what we're doing, every kid in every other county comes over because they want free candy.
And keep in mind, the amount of money they give them here, let's just say arbitrary number, $200 a month. That's their salary. That's their whole salary
For a year
in their own country. Like, no shit, they get here per month more than they make it there. Of course, they already know how to live. They already know how to survive bare minimum. They're gonna treat it as a fucking go get a cash job. And guess what, bro? They're living in a hotel for free. They're getting a goddamn government assistance, and they're working for cash because there's other illegals who are connected. It's a fucking network, dude. I'm familiar with one of those. There's one in San Diego, bro. There's older Russians.
So here's an interesting statistic to kind of battle this. The unauthorized immigrant population peaked at 12.2 million in, guess what year and what president was in?
It was Obama or Trump, 2016 or 2017.
One of the Bushes, I think.
Bush Jr., 2007. So if you're going to say that all the benefits is what's drawn them in, well, the peak was when Bush was in, I think that...
Okay, but your statistic is looking at a single point of view in a four-dimensional situation. And that's what I don't like about statistics, because what do you need for a simple statistic? Point A and point B.
Well, then tell us how it's wrong.
So the statistic only looks at the recorded number of those events. So when you have them stopping and turning them around, they never actually made it to the processing part. So their name never went on a record. So you can turn 1,000 or, turn 1,000 away.
Immigrants have to sign in?
No, not when you're turned away at the border. When they take you in to process you to put you in the amnesty system, that could be hours or days later. So the statistic is done off of one thing, when in reality, all these people are turned away. So yes, the statistic is probably a lot greater now, because I'm recording every kid that came up for candy, not just the ones that came up in orange.
Well, the new Amnesty app, like,
yeah,
all they got to do is put that app on their phone and they're in.
You can put the Amnesty, go to and search it in the store and download the Amnesty app, sign up and make an account, and get agreement for you to have amnesty and be on the paper for the stat right there, because it requires no verification of anything. I think the guy that did the video on it did it in like under 5 minutes, and that was downloading the app.
But do I get a $10,000 gift card?
Yes.
And can I also stay in a hotel in New York City?
Maybe we should leave the U.S. and then come back and sign up.
You'd have a lot more benefits. Get free health care.
I already do.
Dude, we need to freaking kick them all out already. Fuck, dude.
But that's the problem that I have with the man's, the cabal's talking points is statistics are done not to favor you, but to shock the fuck out of you. And they're made on my 2 points of data that I can skew any way I want, or only.
Well, I don't think you can. We also can't generalize statistics.
But you can take and only use 2 of the 100 points of data that were collected.
I think you can say statistics can be skewed, but not all statistics are skewed.
In a political environment, every statistic is skewed to the user's point of view, because they're using it to try and prove a point.
Good thing I'm not a politician.
Now,
they're using it to try and get more money. Here's what the stats on breakage are. Here's what the costs are. Because they're trying to get something.
Fucking liberals.
No, that's both sides.
Well, I'm sure we could probably go on for another hour and a half, but
Probably.
I would say this is probably a good time to wrap up. And so, once again, appreciate everybody that sticks with us for all of these episodes, and especially if you stick with us to the end, because I know the conversation definitely gets thick sometimes, and this was a good one. We didn't get a in-depth election coverage, but whichever side of the political aisle you're on, just know that the system does work. If you don't like it, go out and vote. And so, final parting thoughts. Stephen, go ahead.
The Gen X view. Don't believe everything that you're told. Find out information for yourself. And doesn't matter if it's coming from mama, daddy, the police, the local, national, whatever. Find out their side, the other side, and look at the other side. Because there's always at least two sides. And most of the time, there's the right side. Because everybody sees things from a certain perspective. Find out your own information. Be your own media. Inform yourself about things.
Couldn't agree with you more. Final parting thoughts, Russ.
Question things. If you know that if both sides are agreeing on something, they're agreeing on certain things, and they're all having the same story, question it. Look into it. See what's behind it. Why are they acting unusual? Sorry, Vertigo. Is that tinfoil hat?
If people are agreeing, something's fucking wrong.
Yeah. Right? There you go.
We don't agree.
Clarify a little bit on what the concept Russ is trying to talk about is if you put two people apart, they're not going to be able to look at a solid object and see the exact same thing. When people say the exact same thing, it's usually talked about and rehearsed. When people see things the same way, but from a different point of view, it's usually honest.
That's much better said, Stephen.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephen.
There's a short.
All right, Berto, final parting thoughts.
Statistics are fake. We are the elite.
We all come from the same tree.
We're the elite country club of the world.
Not wrong.
I don't know how Russ is legally here.
I got a passport. And I got the CAC.
I have nothing else.
All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody for sticking with us. This has been a fun episode. Stick with it. We're all in this together.
Remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together.